And to the old members that have found their way back to the community, I need you just as much as you need me. I do appreciate each and every one of you tuning into this live tonight. We have a lot to discuss. We have to talk about a very suspicious 400 million XRP transfer, and we'll go over some of the details that have occurred. I did not put that in my title because I didn't want everybody to come in on the FUD. I wanted everybody to come in on a positive note that we're going to be here this evening and look at the fact that XRP is still on the outside of a breakout attempt. We are still positioned for a breakout, and I'm going to show you every reason why you should be optimistic about XRP and at the same time be cautiously optimistic, as if certain levels were to break down, we know that we would have to continue for more consolidation. But as it sets up right now and the broader markets are set up, something big and something major is looming in the waters here. A lot of blood swirling, but as we've already seen today, if you're a fan of Digibyte or DGB and you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you know that's my baby. And we positioned at 77,777 tokens of DGB when it got down to 0.006. Today it has hit, it's right around 1.012, so 1.25 cents. It was up at 30% at its peak. It was up about 24.6% roughly when I started, about 25% when I had started this live. We had Flare, if you're excited about Flare as well, as if you're a holder of Flare on Uphold and several other places, you get monthly airdrops without having to do anything. But we were able to buy that at 0.072, and now it's up over 4 cents plus, and it's up another 12% today. So the question remains, for XRP holders, when is everybody's patience going to be rewarded? And the ones who are jumping and bailing, so basically jumping overboard or abandoning ship here, I think their hearts are going to be broken here in the short term. XRP is setting up for a majestic rally here, and that doesn't mean it has to go up to $1, but a majestic rally in the consolidation XRP's had. If this bullish handle plays out properly, XRP setting up for a move where we're targeting up at that 666, but that could be just a silver lining. We could be ended up pushing for about 75 cents, and we're having a retest of a earlier formation from much earlier. So this is the short-term setup. So if you look at this, that's a little short-term that's happened. But if we take this out a little bit farther, and we're going to get into the intro, and we're going to get into all the good stuff here. But if you actually look at this from a, let's just say when we went to all-time highs here, if we actually look at XRP, or not all-time highs, the yearly high last year, when we had this massive rally on the news of XRP settlement, we just have to pay attention here as we got a lot to go into different charts. But look at this rotation. We came through and this completed a cup. Now, if this is a bullish handle that's transferred and now it breaks out, this very well could be putting in a bullish handle here. And if it does, that's going to be an extraordinary breakout attempt. And it's not just going to be here that we would have to target at 666. It would end up being the grand pattern, which I'll explain to everybody once we get through the intro. But that started in January of 2018, and it converged for 27 months from 350 on average, depending on exchange, when it hit all-time highs, until it hit the swing low at 10 cents plus on March of 2020. We've been converging for many, many years, over 6 years, and now this pattern has to end December of 2024. It's just a matter of where do we go. So that's a long ways to go into unpack. But as the days go on and just going through the charts today, you'll be able to come to a concise and a precise, representation will be shown of what's actually happening across the markets. And I think you'll be surprised if it's your first time in here, exactly the lengths we go through in this community to, hit things at every length. DGB still up 22.85%. Flare's up 11.27% still. Algo's up 5.3%. We've 1x that now. Flare, we've 500% we're up on Flare right now. So just be very thankful that we were able to buy in when we did. And we had the mindset. Zill's up 5.4%. I mean, it's a pretty beautiful thing to see right now. So the question for XRP holders is, what the hell is going on with XRP? And is this another stereotypical case of XRP's the last one to pump? Because a lot of other things are running up. A lot of other things have had some nice rallies here. So we'll see exactly what's going to transpire. So please make sure to hit that like button so that YouTube will recommend this video. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of people viewing tonight because the markets are kind of shaky. XRP is kind of suspect, and it's a Sunday evening. So if you are tuning in, thank you so much, and make sure to hit that like button so YouTube will recommend this videos, and that will allow new people to find this community, but it'll also allow old members that might not have been alerted by YouTube to see it pop up in their YouTube recommendations now, and it'll help them find their way back home. So with that being said, let me do the intro, and then we'll get into the comments if there's any. Good evening. 6:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Sunday, February 25th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So the trading week is coming to an end here. The weekly candle is coming to a close. XRP did not make any kind of move up towards the 20-day resist or the support level in the weekly. We still have some room to grow here. Been a pretty stable day. Bitcoin's up about 200 points to 51,763. I made a clear depiction of what looks like a bull flag setup, at least in this consolidation, where it could potentially bring us to. And then if we have a further retracement where that could possibly bring us to as well. So we have a lot to talk about here. So I do thank everybody who is tuning in. We have 64 people here, 34 likes. Please make sure to hit that like button. It will greatly help us with the YouTube recommendations, and it will allow more people to reach this community. And I think we do a real nice service here. So let me turn comments on, and let me get my phone out very quickly. I got to just grab it, and then I'll shut it off once I catch up to the comments. Okay. So let's turn on the comments, and we've actually got a nice, not just technical analysis, but we've got a nice whole thing to go over here tonight. White Lotus, good evening. Sean Crothers, welcome in, my main man from Maine. Good to see you in here. David, welcome. All the money, good evening. Tom forgot to be here. He's still at the bar. Yeah. Gary Steely, welcome in. Matt Holden, Mo, and CJ2 Pilot, thank you so much for being in Tom's Army for at least 5 months with the XRP Meteor. I thank you for your continued support. JW, thank you for being in Tom's Army for over a year with the I Told You So badge. Mark Caston, good evening. MC Prosperity, welcome in. Back off now, good evening. Espanol, good night from Madrid, everybody. Hey, good night, my friend, and I appreciate you stopping in. Brave Sigma, let's go indeed. Nobody, welcome in. Anthony Venegas, good evening. Bobby Ferguson, welcome in. I'm glad to see you in here this evening. Now that we're all caught up with the comments, time soon. Yeah, Mike, it's time soon, but we don't, we're trying to figure out exactly when that moment in time is going to actually be. And all we can do is continue to look at the technical analysis, and we have to continue to stay in that emotionless spot and just understand that the technicals are doing what they're supposed to do. XRP's price action is moving as it's supposed to. And when the time is right, it's going to be that moment. Right now, we can see it's working on a potential breakout here as we are still over the descending triangle. It looks pretty conclusive here. We're going to break over it with some space here today. It also looks like this W reversal could be starting in the short term. If you just go from here, could be testing the neckline right now, and then that could pushes up a little bit higher. If we look at this a little bit more tricky, and if it were to bounce out, I almost could see a nice setup that is starting there as well. But we are back testing right now the descending triangle that started January of 2024, and right now we had somewhat of a, I don't want to call it an engulfing candle, but it kind of was when it started. Now it looks like a nice inverted hammer there. So that's not a bearish candle. This is, it's trying to speak to us of a bullish continuation as long as it gets the broader market support. So right now we do have a bearish cross that started in the 4-hourly, but in the last couple candles here, we've managed to close over the 20-day. Right now it's at about 544, and XRP slightly under that as we speak. And if we look at exactly what's going on, if you pull it out just a little bit farther for XRP, if you go to the July of 2023 formation, if you're new, this is very important. This is where XRP is starting to form this uptrend here, and that's how we were able to get out of that descending triangle from just 3 months of the positioning from January of this year. And now started forming a new uptrend here. And this back test, it's important on two fronts. Right at 53.9, it's not just important because of this. It's also important, I mean, it's a little bit lower, 534 approximately. It's important for that descending triangle hold as well. Because if it breaks through this, more than likely we're going to come down to like 494. We do have a 518 and a 50 point, it's like 50.4 cent hold area. But if this breaks down, it would probably lead to further consolidation. But to me, until it breaks down, we can be optimistic here. And it doesn't mean that if it breaks down, everybody just sell all your XRP. Or, you know, if it breaks down, just be like, oh, that's it, I'm done. Because that's what ends up happening. The masses right now, there's a very big negative connotation swirling about XRP right now. So it's going to take a certain mindset to be able to push through these waters. I'm just telling you straight up, the perception out right now, if you don't have a strong mindset, you're out. You'll probably sell. With every rumor, with everything we're seeing about the potential liabilities and all this other stuff with the SEC appeal, potentially with programmatic bull sales, and the fact that XRP hasn't hit $1 in so long, the fact that even when it appears everything else is moving, XRP isn't, that connotation is going to get people in trouble. All we need to focus on is the fact that XRP is still very much in this consolidation. January of 2018 hit all-time highs. March of 2020 down in here. We finally hit the uptrend after all-time highs. Then we ended up moving around in this pattern. When the lawsuit was announced, we tapped again down here in December of 2020. Just for 4 months later to go to $1.98 and prove that it was a bear market rally. We failed. Came back down to our uptrending support to see if it would still hold, and it did at not only 28.6 and 22, but it did it again in 23, right around 346 area, 34 cents. And now we're trying to go up and see if our resistance is still intact. The fact we haven't hit that resistance yet is telling me at some point it's going to come up and hit that resistance. Could it be about 71 cents? It could be. In today's terms, it's 75 cents if it does it by the mid to end of March. If it would have did it earlier in December or February, let's just say, if it would have done it in February, it could have been 80 cents. So I believe XRP is targeting certain areas, but that 75 cents or 70 cents isn't even what I'd be looking at. I'd be looking at the January of 2024 formation if you want to get rid of the rest. And as long as we break out of this, we're going to come up and touch that rising channel resistance. I think that's what it's building for. And I think ultimately XRP is building a 25% move to target this. It was a 40% move, remember. Some people are saying, oh, the moves never started. And I love seeing the criticism, but it is what it is. It helps you stay in your game. But it also lets you see if you're mentally tough enough to handle what we're doing here. So a lot of people say XRP hasn't moved. We just keep saying the move's close. It started at about 486. We were calling for a better than 40% move. Now it's that second part of the rally. If we can get out of this descending triangle, we get out of the hard part. Then we can start to open up the door to that formation of June of 2022. We do have a stop gap at about 58.4, as we know from the July of 2023 pattern. But understanding all of that, you should be feeling somewhat optimistic here. The fact that we're on a weekly golden cross still, and knowing that each of the three occurrences, it dropped at least 53%, and the first two were followed by a several 100% rally. This one is not at a several 100% rally, and that golden cross is intact. What we're trying to do is close over 56.12 to retake that 20-day. Closing where we're at now isn't going to hurt it. It just continues the consolidation. And until you see it back over that, we really, we need to get over that and then ultimately over that 584 level we talked about. And that's within the July of 23 pattern. And then we'll have our chance to get up to the rising channel resistance. What is this? Hey, thank you so much. I couldn't see what it said because it was mixed in with the bottom of the chart, so it was hard to read the name. So I'll wait for another comment so I can see that. But thank you so much for the donation. Sam, thank you so much for the $19.99 donation. That is seriously so incredibly generous of you. Tom, he says, you keeping us informed, Tom, or thank you keeping us informed, Tom. We appreciate you. I appreciate you as well. I thank you for that. And I do appreciate you showing that show of support. It really does mean a lot, Sam. It helps out more than most even could understand. UK Phil, welcome in and thank you for being in Tom's Army for 2 months now with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. ATK, thanks for sticking along in Tom's Army for at least 5 months with the XRP Predictor. Much respect for that, my friend. If we look at Flare, up 12.48% as we'll touch on some of our gems today. Only 50 people have hit that like button. Please make sure to hit that like button so that YouTube will recommend this video. I'm putting my heart and soul into this, and it's on a Sunday. Most people take Sundays off. I don't. I do this 7 days a week for everybody free of charge. So if you could, if you do appreciate what I do, if you respect me and you understand the sacrifice I make with time each and every day, don't even just consider hitting that like button. Do your darndest to hit that like button so that this community can get its due recognition and we can continue to grow. YouTube will recommend this live. If you hit that like button, it'll allow new and old members to find their way back here. Without your help, I cannot possibly grow this community, and I'm putting it all on the line for you. So all I ask and expect, I do expect it from the audience, for you to hit that like button as a show of support. Bottom line, if somebody comes in here and 95 people are watching, I know my own personal bias. If I walked into a room and there's 95 people watching something and only 50 hit the like button and 45 people decided it wasn't worth their time, I just might walk out the door. Don't give somebody the reason to just walk out the door without giving us a chance. Do your part as I do mine every single day. Ask yourself how many of you showed up on work on Sunday, or even have the desire to go to work on Sunday, and understand I'm here every single Sunday. So please hit that like button. It's my lifeline for what I do here. So right now, Flare, it's been an absolutely spectacular breakout. I'm just blessed that we were able to buy on FOMO Friday and Winning Wednesdays together. That we were able to buy this at 0072. And now we're up over, what is it? I don't even know what it's at from where we're at now. But we're not even close to where I think we're going to go here with Flare. Yeah, we're up 530% for anybody who has bought this. That's why when everybody comes in and talks about how we should have bought Caspa, I mean, you can't buy everything. Should I say you shouldn't have bought Casper and you should have bought Flare? You'll be up 531% instead of 400. No, it's ridiculous. So congratulations, everybody who bought into Flare and who continues to understand what's going to transpire here with the XRP ledger, because it's a lot more than XRP. But the main player right now, when it comes to a lot of things, is XRP for more reasons than one. So I'm not sure what the scam's about, but, you know, cool. If getting this information, if understanding the ins and outs of all your assets is a scam, you know, maybe it's good to be scammed every once in a while. DGB up 21.81%. It's at the 0.1251 level, 1.25 cents. We talked about yesterday how it was going to retest. Once it retested 1079, it would push up to that 13 area. We front ran this a couple days ago, actually, because I built the formation that I was showing. So if you were here, if you bought into DGB on FOMO Fridays and Winning Wednesdays, 006 is your average. 77,700 tokens. Oh, XRP's a scam. Oh, that's awesome. XRP's a scam. I mean, you know, everybody's entitled to their opinion. But I've never met a scam that paid me so well. So, you know, everybody's do their own process, but you're wasting some valuable time for yourself. The only thing that's a scam here is you. You're scamming yourself. You could be using your time in a more diligent manner, and then you could start building some assets up, build a nice portfolio. So I appreciate you pushing the content. I do, because you commenting is helping more than the ones that did not hit the like button, believe it or not. The ones that actually appreciate my work that refuse to hit the like button, you, by commenting, are actually feeding into the YouTube recommendation. So I do appreciate you doing your part, as small as it is. So right now with DGB, we're looking at this very big resistance. If DGB gets out of there, that's when we can start talking massive rally back up. If not, it's still, like I've talked about, this could still be a big bear flag coming up to a big resistance. But it is a nice cup and handle that's formed. It busted out the handle. And now if it does break up, we could be looking at almost a 2 cent DGB here in the near future. DGB likes to run. So just Pay attention to all of those movements here with DGB. We've got ZIL as well, where we bought 22,222 at 1.6 cents. And DGB is absolutely, ZIL is absolutely starting to make that move. We already know where we're targeting. It's just a matter of time until it gets here, up at about the 3.2 cent mark. 3.2 cent mark. Yeah, MC Prosperity actually picked up some at 0072. I thought it was a good area. And what ended up happening too is we were able to pick up over 10,000 tokens. And as a community, we were also doing a myriad of other things at the time. But what's cool about it is if you hold it on the right exchange, like Uphold is one of them that does this. My first month I bought 10,000. I got 517 Flare roughly in November or for December. January I got 572. February I got 613. So far I've gotten over 1,700 Flare on top of what I bought because you get monthly airdrops from Flare. It's base percentage until it runs out. It's a well-kept secret with Flare, but you do get monthly airdrops. And no, you don't have to sign up to no bullshit. And no, you don't have to send anybody your info. If it's on the right exchange, you do nothing. Just like with the XRP, when you'd get different things for the free snapshots, you don't have to take the snapshot if you're in the right place. It's just simply it being on the exchange, like with Flare. If it's on Uphold, they give you it every single month based on percentage. Period. Yep, with Uphold has Flare drops. They absolutely do. I love it. I love it. You wish Uphold had Flare? It does. I get it every single month. Uphold has Flare airdrops if you own Flare on Uphold. Simple. I've gotten them the last 3 months. I don't know what to tell you. Did you say you just bought Flare? I mean, if you have to hold Flare for it to happen, and it happens after it's being held. So anyhow, continuing on, I can only tell you my own personal experience. I don't know everybody's portfolio, so. Oh, yeah. Okay, good. So we're on the same page. Yeah, you have to own it first. If you own Flare, you get airdrops. It's not for holding XRP. It's for holding actual Flare. So right now we're looking for ZIL. I'm still looking for this rebound push up to about that 329 mark. It's going to happen in time. Like I always say, you don't know the exact date, but the pattern is the pattern. It's even if it gets rejected, it's got to come up here to confirm that rejection. We already know vChain has had a fantastic run so far. We bought vChain at 1.5 as a community. Same amount of tokens as ZIL, 22,222. And as we know, we're up 200% on that. So yeah, XRP might not be running as swiftly as some would like, but you've got to have it all mapped. You've got to have a mindset that this can happen in a different way than we expect. Zachary, keep up the exceptional work, he says, with the $10 donation. And he's been part of Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 badge. Unbelievable show of support here. And the unbelievable thing with hear me out here, folks. The unbelievable thing here with vChain, and I hope everybody stays and pays attention to this because I'm literally showing you for free a portfolio, how to build it, and I'm updating you every step of the way. Good or bad or indifferent, I've shown you how to do a proper portfolio. Now, if we fill out this cup and handle, and let's just say it does something like, it probably won't come that far, but this is the first tier. So maybe it does come up to the top, build the handle down like this. But if any way you see it build out this cup and handle, look out. Look out. vChain, ZIL, DGB, these type of assets are so undervalued. Do you realize vChain back in the bull run in 21 was up to 28.8 cents? Do you know just from holding it and putting that small amount of money? Because obviously we're not taking this from an approach of we're millionaires. We're trying to build into that proclamation. So you've got to build during a bear market. I'm telling everybody, you do not become millionaires in a bull market. You have to transcend your portfolio every single time the market flips. Right now, if we just got back to all-time highs from 21 with vChain, with vChain here, that's a 1,721% move. On 22,000 shares at just 30 cents right there, you're talking a big difference here, folks. 22,000 shares at 28 cents. At 10 cents, I mean, do you understand what that means? How much money that is? Just on that. I would love to hear somebody. I would love to hear somebody tell me, how much would you have in vChain right now if we finished off that entire pattern and got back to all-time highs and we're sitting at 28.8 cents? Do you know how much that is just in vChain? And the reason I say this is it costs us less than $370 to buy the 22,222 tokens. Anybody who wants to say it, I would love to hear it. Or I'll just say it myself if nobody knows. And many people will leave during this segment, but there's a point to this. There's a point to this. So maybe nobody wants to answer. That's okay. That's okay. So, yeah, okay. So basically, you've got, let me just do the exact amount. I have 22,222 times point. So ironically, $6,222 if it's at 28 cents. You're talking about that's on. And that's only when it gets to all-time highs. Once it gets there, it's going to end up running past it. But you're talking about buying that. And the importance of this is it costs $333 to turn into $6,000 plus if it gets to all-time highs. It's not if, it's when. This looks like it's already starting a fantastic cup and handle here. But there's so much profit margin here and so much room. If you buy things in the appropriate area when they're in bear markets and not bull markets, it's how dreams are made. And this doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen now. It just means that something's starting to flip. We can see things are coming from the bottom. And what is this? MC Prosperity, thanks, Tom, for the info. Always learning. You're welcome, MC Prosperity. And thank you so much for paying it forward this month with that $20 donation. Wow. Thank you so much. Everybody who has sent a YouTube super chat this month as the month is closing out. Anybody who's part of Tom's Army this month, thank you so much for helping me fund this beautiful community. I don't know what I would do without it. I've come so accustomed. It's how I start each and every one of my days. And I love doing the lives every day. It's such a blessing and a privilege to be here. XLM, we're still trying to finish out this formation. Our next major move should be coming up to this 13.4 cent mark. Remember, this looks at W reversal. So if it does come back down here and tries to hit this uptrending support at 10.8, there is a chance it would not hold. So we want to see this W break through. We want to see this consolidation. It already came down here to 11.1, and now it seemingly is trying to push up. We're trying to get past the daily 11.7 resistance, 11.7 cents, and then we should be on our way to a pretty nice run here. As good as some things look, or should I say as bad as some things look, is as optimistic as I am. There's a lot of negativity surrounding the altcoins. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. One of the coolest things that we were able to do here, and somebody actually touched base on it, is, well, somebody actually showed a lot of support in the comments earlier. Somebody was saying how it was a waste of time, which I like seeing it because then you can see, you know, the different varying opinions of what somebody's getting out of something. And then somebody flat out said, is it a waste of time to, I don't remember exactly what they said. I wish I had it right here in front of me. But they talked about how I called the bottom on Bitcoin. And I said it was about to go up from 28,600 area. And I told everybody to buy. Everybody to buy. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool the ones who have stuck around and now are showing that kind of resilience in the comments. Nearly midnight in the UK, Lee said. And the only reason I say that is because it's a long journey, everybody. It doesn't just happen overnight. TK, welcome in. MC Prosperity been holding vChain for a while. So far, so good. Yes, indeed, MC Prosperity. And I think the best is yet to come here with vChain. Bitcoin, right before the daily close here, is at 51, and the weekly close is about to happen. 51,721. We've got a couple ways to look at Bitcoin. We know it's in the ascending formation. But are we moments away on Bitcoin from trying to break out of this bull flag? I've speculated that that was still in a bull flag within the ascending triangle, that this formed a bull flag. If it broke down, it could go anywhere down here. We did not clear this yet as we stayed under that downtrending resistance on Bitcoin. So we're looking to have a close over that 51. Actually, now we're going to look to close over 51,000. It's almost engulfing to the top side, though. That's a lot of more topward pressure. So we're going to see how this transpires here in the next couple of days. I have optimism. Hey, Mike Stevenson, welcome in, and thank you so much for continuing on Tom's Army with the month 2 badge. That's the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. Much love for that, Mike. And I'm glad to see you in here, brother. So Bitcoin is right there. So if that bull flag plays out, I've been talking about 55K. It's going to come up near that 55K range and target it. And then if it were to break over, you've got that 66,000 and some change here. But that's on the breakup. Remember, we're in the ascending triangle formation, which, what is, holy moly. Wow. Mike. Wow. All I can say is that is over and above. You've already been in Tom's Army and you took the initiative this month to already show your support. But a $50 donation. Mike, thank you so much. Sounds a lot like Dark Defenders TA. One, I don't even know who that is. And if you're trying to say my TA is somebody else's, you ought to consider somebody might be watching mine. So if you're trying to imply I'm stealing somebody else's technical analysis, try again. But I do appreciate the compliment. But yes, Mike, thank you so much for that. Seriously. I don't know who the Dark Defenders is, so if their technical analysis matches up with mine, maybe I should respect it. If it looks like mine, I like it. I like it. This person's doing right by me, then. Means that they're actually putting out technicals, not FUD. I appreciate that. Everybody knows I can appreciate another hard worker. They're few and far between. So anyhow, this is the descending formation as well within this consolidation. This is a nice consolidation. Nice consolidation. Thanks, Mike. You're the man. So that's what I'm looking for. But we are within an ascending formation. And as well, we've already had a broadening wedge. That we've already know it's a broadening wedge. Resistance, support. And then we could even say resistance, support, back to resistance. Now, some would say, well, Tom doesn't have to come to hit the third hit. No. It's a broadening wedge. That's 2 hits on each side to confirm the pattern. Third hit of resistance. If we can hold the consolidation in the bull flag or at least use the ascending support as the push out, that can also happen. And that can be the overextension on this bull flag because it can run into, it's not even overextension, but it can run all the way into there. So it could bounce here even at 50,000 and make that move up towards 55. And then if it gets on top, 66. This is a beautiful setup. Yeah, I know. That's why I kind of said that. I made it come out a little bit too strong at that time. But yeah, I appreciate it. He just saying they sound the same so two people can't have the opinions. Nope, that's not what I was saying. I said I appreciate the opinion. You're reading too far into it, brother. No insult. Anyhow, so moving past, don't get too emotional. I say a lot of things. I was just saying. Didn't you hear what I said at the end? I said I appreciate somebody who's a hard worker. So I should appreciate that more because they're doing the technicals, see? So as much as I gave a poor opening statement, I finished it off by giving credit where credit was due. So with XRP, we had the daily close. It looks like it's winding up right now. It really does. It just, until we can push up this next tier, I'm always optimistically bullish, but I still pay attention to the fact that there was this death cross. We still have not invalidated just yet. We need this last bounce. Yes, we've come back up and it's not a death cross anymore, but that could just be a lagging indicator as it came back up. But I firmly expect these bulls to start picking up here and try to give us a world back up to like this. That's what if I had to say where I could guess it would happen, if it had to do it and hit support again, 54 cents. We're so close to it right now, let's just do it. Or 538, let's just do it. But that's what I'm expecting. I really am. I'm expecting to see something like that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with expecting it, but being optimistic that it can happen. Just because you're expecting it doesn't mean it's going to happen. Another thing that I look at is that daily volume. And if we look at this, it's interesting. In the daily volume, we had the breakdown candles. So we had, in the daily, we had about 8 million here on Bitstamp. And on Binance, it's more, but I'm showing you the differences, the subtle. 7.8, 6.4, then down to 3.64 on the reversal. Then on our first attempted move up, we had about 3.4. It looks like it could be a little inverted hammer here. And it had a lot of topside pressure. Now, it's very important on this daily that we don't give up. And yeah, you can come down a little bit, but you really don't want to give up much to the downside. We would love to see this just have a bunch of pressure to the top side, because this very well could turn into a squeeze candle. But if it doesn't play out to our advantage, this could just start off to a right arm. And because it could never get up, it starts to dump down again. And then it comes down to, where is the XRP support? Well, we know this uptrending support is the first logical area here, because like we've said in the January of 24 pattern, we can pull it out to July of 24 now that we're on a breakout attempt. 537 is where you'd want to hold. You don't want to see it close under 537, because not just that. Check Ankr, please. I don't know if I'm going to have time to get into ANKR. Maybe I will. We'll see how this flows throughout the evening. But right now I'm trying to get through all these thoughts, and then the back end of this can be loaded with, stuff that we need to do if my voice can handle it. Tom, that Bitcoin pattern is bearish at a macro level down to 35K. It may reverse bullish, but I am not sure about that. If it reverses down, it can absolutely be bearish. But don't call it bearish until that bull flag setup is broken. And also be very, very understanding that with Bitcoin, until it does give way, if the money's still coming in, you very well could start to put in a bullish handle here as well. So if you get something like that, that could propel us up. I'm not saying it's not going to be bearish when it gets up a little bit higher, or that it's not bearish at all. But let's just make sure before we think it's going to fall down that this breaks. It created an ascending formation for a reason. Those can typically, they're either expansions after a contraction within a broadening wedge, or it can be a signal that if that ascending formation breaks, that it's time to go back down to the bottom. And you're actually right. It is about 35,000 the next hit on the broadening wedge if it hits there. So not a bad eye at all for you, my friend. Not a bad eye, George, and that's why I say we can be cautiously optimistic, but there is no guarantees in life, right? So we're looking for this at worst, and then a push up, and we want this to play off as a bull flag. So if it doesn't, as George said, we could be coming all the way back down to 35.5K, 35,500. That in an election cycle is going to be interesting as well if that were to play out, because one would expect, as we can see with the Dow approaching 40K now. 40K. And just like Bitcoin's broadening wedge, when most thought this was bearish, when you break out of a broadening wedge, you do hit the technical move. Technical move is 40K. We can't help it. The over amplified move is 41,915, but that's in the right circumstance. I think we're in the right circumstance. Only because we're in an election cycle. So DXY started off, what is it, 7:09 p.m., 103.97. Some feel like this week could be a strong week for the DXY. What would that mean for crypto? Well, we already filled out the technical target. We broke out of this little formation. The target was here. We hit it, got rejected at that pivot layer. And now we've come back within. So as long as this keeps getting rejected, one could say that is starting to form what could be an overextended rising channel. And those are bearish reversals, especially if that turns into a topping formation. And if that were to happen and we came back down there, I mean, that would be pretty good for crypto. Just for the sense that everything would be pushing up. But just look at this, though. In the wider part, if that's a falling channel now, right? And then Now you would retest here at minimum. So we'll see what has to play out here this week, but it's going to be a very volatile week this week. Going into March, when it could be the first of many rate cuts if they decide to go that route, there's speculation we're going to have 4 rate cuts. And if that happens, that's bullish for crypto, that's bullish for precious metals, and that's very bearish for the dollar. So we'll see exactly how that transpires. But right now we have to go through this consolidation moment as now the weekly candle flipped. We have something else to talk about of significance with XRP as well. Let me know in the comments. Has anybody heard about this? And this XRP price prediction is not what I'm doing on this live. I'm already doing my own, but I might share that in a update later on this evening. So everybody who didn't join the live might be able to back that up against my own. But I guess I could read that here as well if I have time. But did anybody see this? Did anybody see this today? Ripple's unusual 400 million XRP transaction raises eyebrow. Anybody see this? Before we go there, though, please make sure to hit that like button so that YouTube will recommend this video. I noticed we're doing a fantastic job here the second half of this live as we're up to 110 likes, 105 people watching. If you are watching and you're like, how the hell do I buy XRP or my favorite crypto? In the video description below, if you are in the USA, I found the perfect solution for us, BITUNIX. It's been working very well for me. And it's the lowest spot fees I could find. Pretty much 0 spot fees for most days. Leverage spot trading fees is the lowest I found for USA users. So take advantage of that. If you have the ability to use MEXC, which USA new users are not welcome, but older users like myself, if you're already on there, it works fine. They have 0 spot fees and or leverage trading fees for the foreseeable future. So take advantage of that. And if neither one of those two are an option and you're in the UK and it doesn't work, the other two, or you're in like Australia and it's a little harder, PHEMEX. PHEMEX is in the video description below. One of my favorites, but they restricted USA users as well. But take advantage of that. So BITUNIX in the USA and abroad. If you're outside the USA and you have the capabilities or you're already a user, take advantage of MEXC for sure. Other than that, if you're want to show support each and every month, consider joining Tom's Army and get an emoji badge like many of the people here. Like ATK has the XRP Predictor being a part of Tom's Army for at least 5 months, along with Matt Hold'em with the XRP Meteor. You've got JM, who is a 1-month subscriber here, a brand new supporter of Tom's Army with the XRP emoji badge. That's me being abducted by aliens. Oh, yes. That is me superimposed in month 1. Being abducted by aliens, that's my face on there. Thank you, Amber, if you're watching. So consider joining Tom's Army to help pay it forward or send 1 YouTube super chat per month as this month is coming to a close. It really does help fund the program, and it allows me not to have to do paid promotions, advertisements, or sponsorships, or give you any of the BS. It can just give you straight facts. So right now, before we get into that article, and I see a couple people have seen it. Yes, there is an auto unlock each month, but it's 1 billion. And that does not happen until the 1st. So this is something different. This should be something different, but we will see. We will see in just a minute. Algo, what I wanted to cover this evening, was up about 6%. Congratulations to everybody who bought this on our journey on FOMO Fridays and Winning Wednesdays. This was the last asset we bought during that process. It was just under 10 cents when we bought it. Took us about 10 to 11 weeks to buy the 7,800 tokens at 75 bucks a week. And we didn't hit our goal of 10,000 tokens, but we came pretty close at just over 7,800. We have 1x this. So we're up over 100% right now. So congratulations to anybody who's continuing to have the due diligence. And congratulations to everybody who's unlocking the potential that even though we're waiting for XRP, we can use that as a nice stable within the accumulation phase. It's kind of like our stable coin so that we can predict the rest of the market. It's no secret that XRP is helping me with my accumulation with everything else. As XRP was my mainstay in 21 and it helped me evolve the portfolio. And now it's allowing me, because I was able to accumulate so quickly into XRP before everything else when it hit its low first. See, that's the thing nobody's accounting right now or accounting for. XRP hit its swing low in this rotation a lot sooner than most. A lot sooner than most. And one could say that this stable price is one big case study here going forward. So this could have been a time testament and a timestamp, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed, EB. Sell low, or buy low, sell high. That's our philosophy. That's why in 21, as much as I hated to get rid of XRP at $1.66, had to. It ran its course from 47 cents in a short amount of time, and I had to call a spade, and I'm very glad I did. So right now with Algorand, we already know once it holds this process, we are waiting for a massive breakout to 30 cents. We've talked about this since we bought it in the accumulation phase around 10 cents, and we knew it would happen. That's why we had to buy it before it broke out of this resistance, because we knew once it broke out of this, it was over. It was just going to have a quick run up, and we were looking for a good buy. Plus, we tapped ourselves out. We bought so much stuff, it was time to call it a day. We put everything we possibly could have. We put our hearts and soul into it. Now it's up to the market to push properly. That's why when everybody says, are you buying? I am not. When I have assets up 500% as Flare Plus, when I've got some up over 200% like vChain, even XRP being up about 45%, I am not interested in getting rid of anything yet or continuing to expand with the prices where they're at. Ankr possibly, but I am not done doing what I'm doing yet. But I will definitely take it under advisement for the fact that you are still here. I love to show support to my audience that supports me. So don't be surprised if you stick around if that chart just doesn't find its way here in a couple minutes from now. Ripple's unusual 400 million XRP transaction raises eyebrows. No, Mohammed, don't thank me, brother. I thank you for being here, and this is not the first, second, or 10th time I've seen you in here, so I take what you say more seriously because you've shown me that diligence in these lives. So, but Stellar, Sorvan, smart contracts are the real Ethereum killer using Oracle. Yeah, I don't believe XRP's Bitcoin or Ethereum killer. I think everybody's got the wrong opinion. I think XRP, what it's for, is to stabilize the world financial banking sectors. So right now they can just print their native currencies and inflate their money supply. In the future, when we have a digital token, a digital era with no paper money, that won't be an option. So I think XRP's liquidity pool will be used to help offset the asset pool in the bank. So it'll make it look like there's more money than it is. So that's what I think. I really do. XDC's in line for about a 98% move. We'll get into XDC still tonight. I'm feeling good tonight, so I don't expect to be going anywhere just yet. My voice is starting to cut out, so let's get through this real quick. So Ripple executed an unexpected. Is there any chance that we could be getting towards a settlement either? With all these XRP moving, is there any chance that Ripple's setting up for a settlement? I'm hoping that's not what it's going to be, but there's got to be some talk about that as well. We've seen movement of 40 and 60 million tokens before this as well. Ripple executed an unexpected transaction releasing approximately 400 million XRP tokens valued at around 217 million. The unusual timing and enigmatic memo accompanying the transaction have stirred curiosity among cryptocurrency enthusiasts. This is very interesting. Dark Rider VR. Hi, Tom. What do you think about Lunk? Hold on one sec. I need to read through that. In just a second. So, well, Lunk, the only reason that I don't like Lunk, and it's not that I don't think it can do things, but when Luna bent over their whole community, I called them out literally moments before that happened, and I talked about it. They created the UT Terra Luna, the stablecoin UT, for Terra Luna. That was their stablecoin. It was a way to cook the books, and it was tied into the Tether manipulation. So once they did that, and they cooked their entire community, they filed for bankruptcy. And just like me, if I'm a business owner, I can go from TSJ, file for bankruptcy, and go to TSJ1, TSJ2, TSJ3. Like, they literally went from Luna and said, nope, now we're Lunk. Like, so for that reason, I don't have a lot of praise for them because I know what happened once can happen again and will happen again down the road. But where it's positioned, it's a very, very interesting prospect. I don't like nor hate it. If it was on its own 2 feet, I would love it. If it didn't come to be because of the failed Luna, I would like it. I would actually like it to make some unreasonable gains, possibly. But with that kind of corruption behind it, I don't know if they're going to ever allow it to do that. Everybody thought Luna would do it. And once it got its stability, they rickrolled everybody. They rickrolled. Hi, Tom. What do you think about long can go up to $1? I'm currently investing in XRP 80%. COM 15. What is COM? My brain's not working for that one. And long 5%. I don't have a problem with 5%. If you put 5% of your holdings into long because you believe in it, I don't have a problem with that. It's not a heavy weight. Oh, XLM. Okay. Oh, I like that. I like that. I wish your conversion was a little bit tighter than 80-15 on X. I like to have a pretty even split. I mean, mine, if you look at it, is probably XRP. I put in about $3,500 at a 34.6 average, roughly. With XLM, I bought almost 11,000 tokens at, I'll say 8.8 because I don't know how far under it was. I know it was under 9, so just say under 9. So we'll just say it cost me. Okay, so yeah, that is okay. So I've only got about when you come to that, 25% money invested as I would have from XRP's point of view. And then with XDC, I think that's an integral part as well. XLM, I have 27,700 plus tokens, and that was at 2.8. So it's all about the weight, but as long as you have your exposure, that's fine. That's fine. It's going to cost more to buy into XRP anyhow, so you would have to have more weight towards it. So I get that. So the Whale Alert reported the release of approximately 400 million XRP tokens valued at around 127 million. I apologize. Sometimes I babble on when people ask me questions. So for everybody who's tuning in, consider subscribing to the channel because at the very least, when you ask me a question in comments, and you can go through all my past videos, you don't see the nonsense of the stereotypical response as you see in most other communities. I delete all the spam and I respond to everybody to the best of my ability, especially in the lives as well. So, unusual 400 million XRP release. This sizable transaction has stirred curiosity among the community due to its unusual timing and the enigmatic memo accompanying it. The memo raised questions about the platform's February escrow execution and contained peculiar shoutouts. Oh boy, this is what always happens. Many in the XRP community are perplexed by this unexpected unlock, noting its deviation from Ripple's typical schedule. Traditionally, Ripple releases around 1 billion XRP tokens for its escrow wallet on the first day of each month, a practice integral to its operational framework. However, only 500 million XRP tokens were unlocked in escrow in February. Thus, several community members are speculating about the nature of the transactions, drawing different theories. So this is the transaction. It says was successful and validated by the ledger number 861976608, executed on February 25th at 3:26:31 UTC time. Initiated by off escrow, off DAI, sequence, blah, 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 number 7. So in 12 different drops, it says 400 million, and the memo says February escrow was not executed. TRWBT. Welcome back, holder John Deaton. Bit thump to. So what is that memo? What does everybody think about that memo? Ripple's XRP token unlock ensures transparency and predictability in XRP's supply chain, limiting the market's exposure to a predetermined volume of tokens at any given time. By implementing this strategy, Ripple seeks to mitigate the risk of market manipulation and uphold stability in XRP's valuation. Still, the transaction had little impact on XRP's price. The digital asset is down by a modest 0.03% during the past day to 54.43 cents, but has a press time right about 54.2 cents. It is the 6th largest cryptocurrency token with a market capitalization of 29.7 million, or billion is the total crypto market cap. Satoshi Nakamoto praised Ripple. Email correspondence on Earth. Well, we can't get into all this yet. We should get into this. I guess we could read this. Email correspondence on Earth conversations between Bitcoin's creator Satoshi Nakamoto and Marty Malmi, an early contributor to Bitcoin, revealing Nakamoto's admiration for the Ripple project, originally conceived by web developer Ryan Fugger in 2004 as Ripple Pay. Ripple aimed to pioneer decentralized digital currency systems, predicting the advent of Bitcoin. So very interesting, very interesting. So what do we think of that? What do we think of what we've read? What do we think of what we read? Cardano's at 58.8 cents. I believe Cardano is in its own right working on a breakout, but it's got to get past this key resistance here of 59.9 cents. It looks like it wants to attempt to run up to that 66.6 cents, ironically, just like how XRP wants to go up to 66.6 cents. Isn't it funny that that's exactly where Cardano is aiming for? Does anybody find that peculiar? I don't know. I find that a little interesting. But if we watch this, we got to make sure we hold this, this uptrending support. So we hold this uptrending support. I knew I grabbed the wrong one. But we're trying to hold that, so I'll keep that like that. I'll put an arrow later. So trying to hold that and eventually get up to that 66.6 cents. The stopping block here would be if we do get rejected at 60 and it can't get past it. But it looks like it's creating an inverted head and shoulders here in the short term. No, the 666s could be tipping the scale that could be that's where we reject and go down. So we have to watch. So it looks like we might do something like that. So that's ADA. And my friend who kept asking about Ankr earlier, now that we're 56 minutes in, I will go back and we will actually take a very nice look at Ankr. I do have exposure, not exposure, but I have a history with seeing. So I guess I have an exposure to the charts from the past. So right off the bat, love to see that cup and handle formed and looking like it's breaking out of it. I'll show you what I mean in just a second. I'm just trying to determine what I would like the... Okay, I see it now. I see it. I think we go like this. Ooh, this is like coming up to the next here. I don't know. Because we definitely finished off the cup. Put in a nice handle here. Now we broke out. So if we're breaking out, now we got to determine where this is going. So definitely a nice cup and handle. Formed, broke out of the handle so far. So this could be the start of something bigger. That's the shorter part of the pattern. So obviously, maybe not obviously, if it's working on the grand cup right here, it's going to come all the way up to here. This is just the end of this. That's just going to confirm the finishing move. So then you're going to have to come up here and try to finish something else. So what I'd be looking at here is the finish off of this cup and handle somewhere around. Ooh, that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. That is a pretty nice. So let me put this up here real quick, and then we're going to do a little more TA. So that's where it's going to try to finish this move off. If that's a bullish handle on the cup here, which it looks like it is. We can already see it broke back out there a little bit. That's the short term though. That's just to get past here. And then, yes, Mohammed, awesome. Thank you so much for sticking around for the end of this so you could see what you were asking for. I told everybody I may not do it right away, but once I feel like my schedule is cleared up here during the live and I feel like I'm in the grace period of the audience, I've gotten the information I want to get through, I remember what people are saying. And if they're still here, I will show my due diligence. It's not everything. But look at this. So now we've come together and we built the technical analysis. Remember how we said that handle is breaking out? Is that coincidence, or is that just because we understand technical analysis that we could match that up? And now it is breaking out. So your technical target, first move, would be up out of this formation. First, we have to get past here. Your target's going to be around 3826. If that breaks, now we can be talking. And then the handle would form, and then it would be a bullish continuation. But even without doing the grand cup and handle, we can give ourselves just, and I don't like to go the full length, but we can give ourselves a little bit of a, holy crap, what can happen here? Technically, if this gets on top of that zone, you can technically have a breakup, and you'd be retesting up in this area. So you're talking 5-7 area. So I'm going to take away just a little off the top so that when it breaks out past that, if it does, we'll be like, oh, this is nice. So that's potentially what could be in the works here as we attempt to finish off a grand scale cup from when it fell. And then if it puts in the bullish handle like this, or even possibly like this, which I wouldn't like that, but if it does something like this, puts that bullish handle, now you're talking about that push up to here. And then it would finish off what could be a triple top or finally push over this major resistance. Anchor setting up very nicely as long as we hold this, I I suppose you could say this ascending triangle breakout. This first layer breakout, if you can hold this, and right now you're looking at about 3 cents. That's a 23% breakout. And then if you made the continuation, it's an 86% move. If you break out of the short-term cup and handle, a mid-tier cup and handle, because the short-term would be the one I put in the beginning. So Mohammed, does that help? I know we did it quick. It was only a few minute technical analysis, but hopefully that was able to help you identify this pattern. If anybody's watching and you do want to see another update, or you want to see more lives, consider hitting that subscribe button. As I'm proud to say, we went over 20,300 subscribers today. So thank you so much for the 20,300 subscribers. Mohammed, yeah, I really appreciate it. Awesome. I wish it works well, man. I was seeing almost the same analysis. Excellent. Excellent. I'm glad that we can bounce our ideas off each other. I know it's a messy chart, and you can see how long we looked at this. Back in the day, I was looking at this for the long consolidation, and it finally happened. Like, we actually have had this big consolidation. So let's watch this in 2 tiers. And then I'll take a look at AMP, but after that, I'm pretty wiped. I'm pretty wiped on the TA front here. Just acknowledge the fact that I'm putting a lot of time here, and it's not easy to ramble on like this day after day. So my voice does take, it's easy for me to do it, but my voice it's not easy for. So do the due diligence here. See, I always tell people I'll do the wait a minute. Did you say AMD? Can somebody comment real quick? And then we got to look at XRP real quick again. For everybody who stayed in, we still have 93 people. Thank you all so much for sticking this out. Oh, AMP. I was going to say AMD doesn't sound right. AMP, I should have remembered. See, my brain is fried. We have history and exposure to AMP as well from past technical analyses, or a lot of past technical analysis, actually. I was trying to keep people from getting wrecked in this token a long time ago, see? And I showed a technical target. Even out of here, we thought it would come down to about 00782. It came well down below that. 003, so we're on the right track there. Now, obviously, this is starting to move in the right direction. This is absolutely starting to move in the right direction now. Short-term breakout, we can see. This is interesting. I think this is starting. So if we can hold this breakout, I think this is starting. This could be the start. Finally, AMP is at a big correction phase. This is just short term. And the only reason I put this here so you can see the back consolidation in case it happens. That downtrending resistance needs to hold. But look at this. If you look at this from a grander scale, look what's starting to happen here. I think we're finally, let me fix this though, because it's not quite how I have it. But I think we're finally starting to get somewhere with AMP. It's been a very long road here. I think we're finally starting to break out, possibly. We haven't quite got there, but we need to hit this downtrending resistance. So if you're watching AMP, we got to get over this level. 00530. If it breaks 00530, first layer retest it's undeniable. You're going to come up that first layer because it's not going to be the wick though. So let me break this down because it's not going to be a wick it hits. It's going to be the body first. It probably hits somewhere in the middle of this body if it were to break up, but this is a big move. Like, I don't even want to understate this. Let me go back. This would be a big move because it's had a huge consolidation, massive consolidation. It's almost hard to just put into words how massive of a consolidation this was. Basically broke the token, which is exactly what I was trying to explain to everybody was about to happen. Much, much better buying opportunity with this token now than it was, a while back. Let's put it that way. So you've created this kind of a formation, which means if you break out, we don't have to sugarcoat it. We know the length of this pattern. I mean, this could be a substantial breakout. And for anybody who's buying in or has bought in at these levels, yeah, it could seem great, but others aren't even close to being made whole. It's 109% move possibly on a breakout. Just consider, just from this chart, AMP right now is down like 96, 97%. So yeah, 100% move, but it would still make somebody down 90%, 92. So that's AMP. And then trading with J-Ride. Thank you for that donation. I don't even know how much it was, but I seen you ask for Casper. Casper's easy because it's something I chart every day. Casper, we bought 10,000 plus tokens. It was just one of the first ones we did on Winning Wednesdays and FOMO Fridays. And on Casper, we're only up a little bit. I think we bought it about 3.2. Casper, if it stays in this formation, it looks like a little W's formed. It should come up to this resistance next. Even if it's bearish, we're likely going to come back up to there. This formation has just started. We've only hit a couple times on support, twice on resistance. So if this confirms the pattern, you would want to hit a third time on resistance first and then come back down to support. And if it's going to break out, you could break out. But this is another one that's building pressure. A lot of pressure here, J-Ride. This is one that in the short term, we're starting to break out, but we also put in this little bit of a consolidation after having a bullish, or what was that? A bullish divergence here in Casper on the 4-hour time frame. So now we're just trying to hold the 200-day, and we can continue to rally off of this. So, man, oh man, this actually doesn't look bad. It finished off. This doesn't look bad. This looks like it's got eyes for higher up. So I would just keep watching this formation. Unless you see this uptrending support give way at that 3-3 level, this is bullish still to push up. This will still be bullish to push up unless we lose that aforementioned uptrending support. So looking good. It's more on the bottom end of this formation. A lot of room to the top side here still. A lot of room to the top side. And now my head's about to blow up, but I'm going to have to call this an end here. I do appreciate everybody. I'm just all talked out. My voice is starting to tell me, Tommy, better stop, or this next week ahead, you're going to have a very raspy voice. So I'll leave you with this. With XRP, we're looking for the consolidation. Even if it consolidates down, this uptrending support here, look for that 5.3. I believe we said 5.36, 5.37. Look for 5.37 is a beautiful spot. And J-Ride, thank you so much for that $10 donation. I really appreciate that. Hopefully that helped, that little bit that I was able to do and get out. XRP, though, this is the formation. So just watch this. As long as this doesn't give way, now it's down to about 5.29. We really don't want to come back down there. We would like to start showing some support and a little bit of move and allow that July of 2023 pattern to take over. As we can see right here, this is what I'm hoping for, or at least what I'm anticipating, as long as it doesn't break this structure. So just consider everything I said during this live. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out so YouTube will recommend this video. And if you're new, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. And last but not least, because I want to cover this, we went through a lot, but XDC, I think it's positioned very well for a big breakout. We're still in that descending formation. It's still consolidating. But once it breaks out at some point here, this is going to have a massive breakout to the top side. If it continues to consolidate down, we've got that targeted as well. But at some point, there's going to be a massive, massive breakout here for XDC. And I mean massive. And this is in the extension area. So this is where it's trying to have a breakout. Nice bullish channel here to the downside. So a descending channel that's formed within this as well. These are typically bullish reversals when the consolidation ends. So have a blessed evening, everybody. Thank you to all. And I can't thank each and every one.